So, do you guys remember the Toyota Camry that Grumpy and I towed out of the woods after the people got stranded and had to hike out? Well, we're back, as in you and I are back, and got a little more of the story to this car. We're gonna tow it one more time, and then once we get done with that, we are gonna go pick up my big truck from the shop in Redmond. I should probably also have mentioned that my big truck has been at the shop in Redmond, getting the auto chains installed under it, and it is ready to go. So once we get done with this, we're gonna go pick up that and check those out. So let's get to this. So now I've got a little more of the story of what happened with this car. These people, they live quite a few hours away, and they were over in this area at night, lost using GPS, and their GPS sent them out all these Forest Service roads, and there wasn't nearly this much snow on the ground. It was mostly just wet road at that time, and it sent them way off. I think it was 7 miles out that way from where we are here. And not knowing the area, not knowing where they were, being in the dark, they kept following their GPS until they got stuck. The tire was not flat at the time, so it must have tore a hole in the sidewall that then leaked out. They ended up hiking out as it was starting to snow. Luckily, about halfway between where they were and the highway here, someone found them and gave them a ride out of here. And then the car sat out there, so I believe it was 4 days until Grumpy and I went out there to get it. And as you can see, it snowed a lot in that time. So they didn't know about the flat tire. And the original plan was just for me to get it back out here near the highway, which is right over there, so it was accessible for them to come get. There's no phone service in this area. So once I got back into service, I called to let them know it was here, make sure they knew about the flat tire, which they didn't. And now with all the weather we've been having, them being so far away over the mountains, and the flat tire, they haven't been able to come back and get it. So I'm here to pick it up. I'm going to take it to Davis Towing and Tire here in Sisters. They're going to take care of the tire for them and then park it at their yard, so that the weather seems to be breaking. I think the next couple days are going to be decent. They can drive over the mountain over here, get their car, and finally get back home with it. Since the tire on this other side is flat, that log's under it might be a bit of an issue for the auto loader, because on my other truck it grabs from the outside, this truck grabs from the inside, and that's why I left that log sticking to the inside, because I couldn't put it the other way. So we'll have to figure that out. But okay, since this one's a little goofy with that stick under there and all that, instead of just running it from in the truck, I'm gonna use the remote out here and watch what I'm doing and make sure I'm not hurting anything. So I'm kind of hoping that arm sticking out pushes this block of wood away, which it's doing, and then has the power to shove it right out the side. Make sure it doesn't hit the body. Come on. It doesn't really want to, but it's doing it. It's definitely not what it's designed to do. And then come on, drop it out the bottom. There it is. Nice. Okay. That worked way better than I thought it would. So let's lift it up. Look at what our clearances are under here with that flat tire. And actually, surprisingly good. Wow, much better than I thought we'd have. I hate strings on sweaters. Cool. So, we'll strap it down and put some lights on the back and try to get it out of here. So this warm weather that's making it where they can actually make it over the mountain to get back to their car, as you can see, is making it quite the slushy mess to get out of here. Yeah, really slushy mess. Wow, I put the camera in the perfect spot. That wasn't even planned. And yes, I am recording audio without using a wireless mic that you're watching from a totally different camera. Magic. I'm actually just filming this part where I'm talking on a whole separate camera, detaching the audio, overlaying it to the video you're watching, and that's how you have this audio. See? I'm starting to figure this stuff out. All right. What a beautiful, beautiful place. There's a campground right here that I might have to come camp at some point because there's this beautiful creek right here. I love my job. And here we are at Davis Towing and Tire in Sisters. They have been voted the best towing company in Sisters for the last 20 years in a row. Partly because they're the only towing company in Sisters for the last 20 years, but that's besides the point. But seriously, Art and Kathleen run a very good business here, and I highly recommend them if you need any towing or tire type of stuff in Sisters, Oregon. This is the place to go. Okay, well, there it is. Still got all the bumpers on each end, and Davis is going to get the tire repaired or changed out to another one, and once the weather breaks up on the mountains up there over that pass, they can come on over, pick it up, and have the car back. We are at Utility Trailer in Redmond, Oregon, where I am really happy to be picking up my truck because they got it finished 2 days early, which is awesome because it's not fun to have your truck down. So big props to them on that one. Let's go check it out. Here it is. I would say finally, but it wasn't gone that long. They got it done really quick. So Utility Trailer, check them out. Good people, fast service, and they got me some auto chains. So the way these work is this air pot, and all the suspension's dumped right now is why this is so low. This all raises up quite a bit, but these air pots swing these wheels down to the side of the tire, and I'll put like a magnetic mount camera down here to show later. But then the tire spins this wheel, and these chains go around under the tires and are your tire chains. So I will demonstrate that in a bit, but let's get this thing fired up. Oh, I missed you. Oh, check it out. Individual, so front axle and a rear axle. I thought it was like all or nothing, but you can just run one or the other. That's cool. So while we wait for this thing to build some air, let me tell you how OnSpot chains came to be on this truck. When I bought this truck, I wanted automatic tire chains. That was like top of my list of things to do to it. As much as I'm in the snow, it just only makes sense as far as time, safety on the side of the road, all that stuff. And the chains I wanted were OnSpot chains. OnSpot's kind of like the premier brand of the automatic tire chains. And so that is what I was gonna try to get. And then, you're creaking as the cab airs up. And then it was a week or two after I posted the first video of getting this truck that OnSpot actually reached out to me asking me if I would like to run a set of their chains at no cost to me. So apparently they were watching and paying attention, and that just kind of goes to show something I said in the video at that CES Tech show of you never know who's watching or who's around. So that was a very, very cool like kind of coincidence. And I brought the truck in here to Utility. They measured everything out to build the kit for this truck. Brought it back over here once the kit was ready, and they got it knocked out super fast. So huge thank you to Utility for getting the work done so quick, and huge thank you to OnSpot for reaching out and weird rattles, making this whole thing happen and putting all this together. Okay. Let's go get my pickup loaded up. Okay, that is really, really cool, and now I am super excited to drive in the snow, because I like snow a lot, but the big pain about driving big trucks in the snow is that you have to chain them up, and it's like the law. Now I can just keep on driving, cruise right on by the chain up areas, flip a switch, these go down, and we're good to go. With these things, you have to slow down to 25 miles an hour, and you can engage them at any speed up to 25 miles an hour. Then once they're engaged, you can go up to 35 miles an hour with the chains going, and you can disengage them at any speed, but it's recommended that you slow down to like the 25 again, because these are spinning when you flip them up, and if they have enough momentum to keep spinning, they can, you know, maybe hit stuff, but not that likely. So are these things expensive? Kinda. Yeah, it's a good bit of money to spend to put something on a truck, but if you kind of break that down into how long during a winter season you will sit on the side of the road installing chains on a truck and uninstalling them. I know people say, like, I can chain up in 5 minutes. No, you can't. By the time you get pulled over, get stopped, get your chains out, get them on the tires, bungeed up, all that stuff, and get rolling again back to up to speed on the road, if it was a half hour, that was fast. And then you got to do the same thing to get them off. So every time you have to chain up, you're losing an hour of time, roughly. So if you look at what your truck makes per hour or per mile, how far down the road would you be in that same hour? Add that up, and you see it's not that long before those things actually pay for themselves. In addition to the massive bonus of you are not sitting on the side of the highway in ice and slush in a slippery condition where other trucks are pulling in and out around you while you're bent over trying to get to the tires and cars are trying to fly past all of you. I don't like doing just even towing work on the highway. I hate being in chain up areas. They're very dangerous, and now I don't even have to stop. Slow down to 25, flip the switch, drive right on by. Another thing that's going to be a really nice advantage to those is I don't have to carry all these anymore. These are my 3-rail chains. This is all coming off, and then I want to build a rack right here that's about this tall that holds a bunch of those chains and the binders and all that right here, because one problem with having all your chains and binders up there is when you roll the bed back to put the truck down and all that stuff, those stay way up there, and then you can't get to them without climbing up on the frame rails. So I want to build a rack right here at the front of the bed that holds all that type of stuff, and then I'll just have more chain storage up there for the stuff I don't need like all the time. These chains are going to stay here because with the auto chains, as you saw, they only go under the inside tire. If I need full 3-rail traction, which is all 8 of these tires to have chains on them, I can take those chains, put them on those tires, then flip the auto chains, and I have all 8 tires chained up. That situation will come into play if I have to go up to the pass during a snowstorm and have to drag trucks up the pass and need all the traction I can get. I'd want all 8 chained up. So those ones will stay back there. Or maybe, actually the idea I just had while I'm talking, what if I build that rack right here, get all my chains and binders out of there here, still have room for some extra chains and stuff up there, and then those chains can go up there, and I can fill this space with another toolbox, because tool storage is where I'm seriously lacking on this truck. It's settled. I think that's what I need to do. So there's another advantage to the auto chains, is the storage you gain by not having to carry around stuff like that. So I'm going to get that unloaded and then probably play with the switches for these things a few more times, because it's kind of fun. And now I can't wait to get this thing in the snow. Huge thank you to OnSpot for getting this whole deal set up. I'll put a link to their website in the description down here below. It's not like an affiliate link or anything, but definitely if you run a truck in the snow with any sort of regularity, these will pay for themselves in time and driver safety, hands down. Very well worth it, which is why I was going to buy them when I got this truck, and luckily they emailed me before I emailed them, and this all worked out really well. So also a big thank you to Utility Trailer in Redmond. I didn't know they worked on trucks. A utility trailer is a brand of trailer. They make refrigerator trailers, dry vans, flatbeds, I've owned utility trailers in the past when I had all the big trucks, and my grandparents with their trucking company still own quite a few utility trailers. They're a very good brand. So I thought that place in Redmond was just like where they made and worked on and sold trailers, but turns out they work on trucks too. They do body work, they do paint, of course all the trailer stuff, and then they have all kinds of parts and accessories for trucks, like all these lights and shiny stuff that people like. So definitely check them out if you need any truck, trailer, or accessory type stuff in Central Oregon. Very nice people. Got this thing in and out way faster than what was estimated, and that is always appreciated. So big thank you to them as well. I'm gonna get unloaded. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Hopefully with this in the snow.